My first introduction in the YMCA was going to Camp Echo, 1935, if you will, and I was 8 years old. Well, you know, you're supposed to be 9. And that was the start of a long career of being a part of the Y. As the Y celebrates 150 years, I'm looking toward, I will be 75 years since my first introduction to camp, so I sort of grown up with the Evanston YMCA as well as have my children. And now my grandchildren, which makes it even more exciting. In fact, right now, my youngest grandson, who lives in Gainesville, Florida, is a leader in training in LIT at camp and is loving it. He's loving working with young kids, and the word we get back that he can't get enough of it. And he's thrilled to death that they look up to him. And you know, that was one of the things in my own experience. As you gave, the others, then you gain more respect for yourself in helping others. And why did that? You know, body, mind, and spirit. Well, it's certainly in building the spirit of giving and giving to others, and learning that makes you grow in ways that you never would have dreamed of yourself. So I'm here to say that from the very beginning, I grew with the Y, and I just look forward to being able to tell others in the community, anywhere, that the Y is an extraordinary gift to the community. And if you have an opportunity to participate, to help them along in this path, please, please do it. I cannot imagine what the Evanston community would be like if it hadn't been for the Evanston YMCA. You know, we're getting concerned now in our health. We got all sorts of programs with exercise and what have you. Well, that's been the Y's business from the get-go. The body, the health of the body, improving the body, as well as the mind and the spirit, which is, you know, essential to any joyful life. And I just am thrilled with the things that the Y continues to do in serving Evanston, in helping others, providing opportunities for growth, having places for programs for kids after school, for families who have special needs and all. The Y is right up there in front and doing its thing as nobody else has in the community. And I'm sure glad I have been a part of it. I was 8 years old, and that would have been 1935 when I first started. So interpolate from 1935 on, you know, and I wonder if I might not be one of the oldest members. I've not in a long time heard of anybody who was in the Y. Certainly there was nobody now around who was in camp when I was in camp in the early couple of years. So, hey, maybe I'm the fossil in town. Well, I started when I was 8, and me and my family, we've been in the program now for, well, 74 years. And it has served our family. You know, our family was one of the first ones to go to family camp. And that was certainly a wonderful growth for our family itself. Our oldest son was about 10 years older than our youngest, and he actually was born just before I went to Korea, and I was served during the Korean War in Korea and came back, and he wanted to send me back to Korea because he had his mom all that time, and now they got this interloper there. And we grew up with our family at the Y, going to family camp. Our children then went on to be staff. We had 2 of our sons have been waterfront director at Camp Echo. One of our daughters, Kathy, she was in charge of the horses. She loved horses, and she could look them in the eye and didn't mind telling them who's boss. Kathy's a little bossy, but she's good. And, oh golly, they grew up then going through the program of campers, family camp, and then staff, and now their children are repeating that experience with us that I had myself. When I was in high school, I was on the committee that studied the potential of building a youth center. And I was on, if you will, the student board that looked around and found a place. We chose to be what had been the golf school in the basement and built what then became the plantation room and had an involvement in that I found very, very worthwhile personally in getting that started. Let's see. One of the very special people in my life at the Y was C.G. Red Mosier. Red was the boys' work secretary at the Y, and then he went up to Camp Echo in the summertime. Red was, to me, a real hero. He was a guy you looked up to. He had started the club program, which was really, really neat. That started out with all the sixth graders in, say, Willard School who belonged to the Y. They would provide a counselor for them, and then they would meet once a week. They would participate in athletic events and contests, but with their own age level. You didn't have young kids against older kids. It was kids your contemporaries, and that club program was really, really neat. My own experience with the club program was really, really enhanced when, as a freshman in high school, as I met some others from around the community, we formed a new club, and we call it the Jefferson Club, and that has been a core part of my life ever since. Uniquely, just the other day, we had dinner at one of the homes of one of the members of that club. We participated in each other's weddings. We went to family camp together. We have, there are 4 in the Chicago area. There are 3 in Florida, and one lives out in California. But we tried to get together, everybody together, about once a year. But the others of us, we get together several times a year, and it's been a great source of enjoyment. And the widows of those who had been in the club are also still a part of our club, and they're invited to all our affairs and all. It's become a great family. One of our members, Herb Engelhard, who's head of Metropolitan Lumber Company, a wholesale lumber company, he provided all the wood for building the new chapel at Camp Echo. And we were privileged at that time when they dedicated to be up there. But here again, in fact, he has family up there right now at camp, 3rd generation. And, it just, that love keeps on giving, and what a great part of our life. Those friendships have meant so much to us and still do, thanks to the Y.